All right, welcome into Prop 5 on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan. I got Eric with me. Use code 5, F-I-V-E. Put down $5. You get $50 to play right away. You can download it from the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, or prizepicks.com. Again, use the code 5, F-I-V-E. F-I-V-E. Heat. F-I-V-E. By the way, it's a Heat game tonight, too, so we'll check some of those out before we go. But use the code 5. You get $50 for your $5 play, and you can see how many things you can play in NFL. How many categories do they have now? It's unbelievable. They got like 20 categories. It's like, how many times will this guy spit in the second quarter?
Yeah.
Um, play anywhere between 2 and 4 players together across the sports, and of course, you can pair it with NBA props if you'd like, or NHL props. So check it out today. All right, we're going to do some NFL today, and then I'll take a look at a couple of Heat props for their 6 o'clock game against Toronto. But let's start here before we get to the popular props, which is kind of what I like to take a look at
Yeah.
here. What do you? What's your favorite play today?
So I mean, I hate to just take the discounted play and say that that's my favorite play of the day, but I mean, Joe Burrow at 240.5. I got to think he's going to go over that. This is a Cincinnati offense that's just kind of gone nuclear over the last few weeks. They can't stop anybody, so they'll likely have to keep throwing the football. I think he goes over that 240.5 pretty easy.
Yeah, that seems fair. And actually, I'm going to throw that in there before we go here because I totally forgot about it. It's a 240.5. They marked it down quite a bit. You can see he's been over that in the last 2 very comfortably playing against Pittsburgh. All right, let's go through some of the popular ones today. I'll skip over the kickers. The running back battle in the Philadelphia-Baltimore game. I've got to be the only person in America that drafted both of these guys on my regular fantasy team as is under 500. When they tell you that a quarterback does not matter, don't take CJ Stroud. That's all I'll say. I had CJ Stroud and Dak Prescott figuring I'd get yardage from one of the two of them. And that's basically been my season. So there you go. All right, Saquon Barkley, 88.5 rushing yards. All right, last 5 games, 255, 146, 66 against Dallas, 159, 108. He's going over, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, this is really one of those. It almost feels like Tyreek Hill last year, how the numbers were just always comically low. Saquon's going over that 88.5.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I understand Baltimore's run defense can be pretty decent, but still, I think it's a pretty fair thing to say right now. All right, Bo Nix, 224.5 passing yards against a Cleveland defense that has showed some life lately. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, Bo Nix has been really good, and he's averaging 260.5. This feels like, number one, this feels like it could be two things. Number one, the Cleveland defense is still pretty good. Number two, Denver might just be up for most of this game and just kind of be able to sit on the football and not do anything with it. So I would kind of stay away from this, or even lean under at 224.5.
Okay. And of course, the Dolphins needed Denver lost badly. Miami can't really afford to lose again, but Denver's schedule is soft, and these games that are against teams that are still trying, they need Denver to lose. All right, Matthew Stafford also discounted 4 or 5 start against New Orleans. 235.5. This is another one. It seems kind of like a sucker play because they made it so low. Going over?
Yeah, I think you got to. This is the Saints team that isn't really world beaters defensively, and Matthew Stafford still got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua to his disposal. You have to. It's just smart.
Let's go also on that Philadelphia-Baltimore game. Jalen Hurts, 230.5 passing yards, been under it 4 in a row, and just went over it barely in the Cincinnati game prior to that. They're going to have to throw the ball a little bit to win today, though, I would think.
Yeah, I think this is really the numbers as high as it is as a fade against Baltimore secondary, which has been pretty bad this season.
Yeah.
I think I'd lean over on this one.
And 2 more here. Jaden Daniels, 220.5 passing yards. It's kind of been all over the place. Hit it last week. I don't think teams have figured him out yet. I don't think that's it. I just think it's normal sort of ups and downs of a rookie. They are in playoff contention. They play a Tennessee team that's not very good. I would play this over actually today.
Yeah, I mean 220.5 is a pretty low number. And you look at some of those defenses that he played when he went under. He played Pittsburgh and he played Philadelphia. Tennessee is just not of that caliber. I think he goes over this one pretty comfortably.
All right, and just on the running backs here, I'll just go to rush yards, go through a couple of them quickly here. Jonathan Taylor, 82.5 against New England. Colts are still kind of in the playoff picture, or fringe at least. I feel like they lean on him today, although it's a big number. I mean, he's barely hit 82 in the past 2 games combined. Did you play him over?
I think I want to stay away from this one. This is a situation where I think New England's probably just going to sell out to stop Jonathan Taylor and ask Anthony Richardson to beat them.
And the Pittsburgh running backs, would you stay, as we close here, would you stay away from them? Najee Harris, 60.5. Jalen Warren, 40.5. Jalen Warren's been over that number 5 straight, by the way. He's kind of consistent between 40 and 60. It's Harris that has a little bit more variance. But again, you don't know how. I mean, they're basically splitting series right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where I think Cincinnati is in a very good defense. The game's probably going to be pretty close. I don't know what the weather calls for up in Cincinnati. If it's anything like what it is in Buffalo.
I don't think anything's like it is in Buffalo. Let me check. There's the handy Apple Maps. Let's see. This, by the way, is never right. I literally can step outside. It will tell me that it's raining, and it's not. But that's okay. They're going to give me a general consensus here. So what do we got? 31 degrees, mostly sunny. So
yeah. I mean, those are mostly passing conditions. But I still think this is a Cincinnati defense that's not very good against the run. I feel comfortable playing both of these guys over their number.
All right. So those are some props to look at, or plays to look at. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm supposed to call them these days. Go to Prize Picks, use the code 5, put down 5, get 50 to play. I'll be back before the Sunday night game and the Monday night game. Oh, switch over to Heat real quick before we go. We'll give them something to pair it with. Hold on. They're playing Toronto in Toronto today. It's freezing up there, but that shouldn't affect them on the court. Jimmy, 18.5 points after a day to rest. Let me take a look at some of these. We've got hold on. I will post these up. Bam at they got Highsmith on the board today. They don't typically have 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Bam. Been too inconsistent for me to play him of late. Duncan, 11.5 points. And I think I keep trending towards the Tyler props. I would play Tyler over on the 10 rebounds and assists tonight. I'd play him over. He's been right around those. In fact, didn't hit in the last game against Toronto, but unless he sits down the 4th, that would be my only concern today. But he's been over that for the last 5, so I would play that one tonight. All right, we'll have more before the Heat game as well. Check out playback.tv/5RSN. Excuse me, to watch the game with us, and we'll have a post-game show here on this channel as well. Again, go to Prize Picks, download the code 5.